course, thunderstorms na na-expect natin sa mga susunod na araw. Si Egay po ay mag-e-enhance ng southwest monsoon, kaya yan nga po yung ating forecast. When it comes to severe winds or strong winds, meron pa rin po tayong inaasahan na gusty conditions over Luzon and Visayas today. Thursday, Luzon and Western Visayas, and Luzon and Western Visayas again still on Thursday. This is just, next slide, ito lang po ay yung mga iba't ibang mga chronology of events. So I think hindi naman po ito ganun ka, this is just a story of what we have for the issuances of our severe weather bulletins and updates. So may mga press briefing po tayong ginawa. So, ito lang po yung nakikita po ninyo. This is the radar image of our APARI radar. So, ito po yung ating pinagbabasihan ng ating mga forecasters na ginamit po natin sa tracking and for forecasting of rainfall and also for the tracking. Next, please. So, yan lamang po. Maraming salamat po at magandang hapon.
Thank you very much, Dr. Esperanza. Mr. Chair, with your indulgence, the floor is now open for any concerns or inquiries the body might have from the presentation.
So, Doctora, we can expect continuous rains because of the southwest monsoon. Hanggang kailan po? More or less po sa estimate ninyo. Kasi po may mga parte po sa Kabisayaan na nag-uulan din gawa ng habagat. So, gaano katagal po kaya ang aasahan natin na patuloy o pabugso-bugsong ulan at malalakas na alon ngayong linggo po na ito?
Doon po sa nakita natin, medyo magwiwikan na po ng konti yung ating mga pagulan. Pero meron pa rin po tayong ine-expect hanggang by the weekend. And this is just an advance information. Meron pa rin po kasi tayong nakikita by next week na mabubuong bagyo. So kung magkakaroon po tayo ng paghina ng ulan, meron pa rin po tayong ine-expect sa mga susunod na araw. So active po yung habagat natin. It may not be yung tuloy-tuloy po na pagulan, pero everyday po, meron pa rin po tayong nakikita. So kahit hindi po ganun kalakasan since basa pa po yung lupa natin, ay posible pa rin po yung mga landslides natin.
Salamat po, Doktora. So patuloy po namin na alintabayan ng inyong mga balita, lalong-lalo na ito sa bumubuong bagyo sa southeastern portion po ng Pilipinas. Salamat po sa inyong briefing at asahan po namin ng patuloy na briefing ng PAGASA po para makaplano ho kami na maganda kung paano makatulong sa mga lokalidad at paano po makahanda itong mga lokalidad nito sa lalong madaling panahon.
Opo, asahan niyo po na magbibigay po kami ng update as necessary and continuous po yung monitoring natin.
Salamat po, Doktor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much again, Dr. Esperanza. Trailing next on our agenda is a presentation of the updates on the combined effects of Typhoon Egay and Southwest Monsoon, to be presented by Director Cesar M. Idio, Director of the Office of Civil Defense Operations Service.
Mr. Chairperson, members of the task force, on behalf of our Civil Defense Administrator, Yusek Nepomuceno, I'll be briefing you about the updates on Tropical Cyclone Egay and Southwest Monsoon that is currently being monitored by the National Disaster Risk Reduction Management Operations Center. My presentation will cover 3 topics, but inasmuch as the first topic was already presented by PAGASA, I'll be focusing on the effects and actions taken. Next slide. So on the effects, the next slide will show the Tropical Cyclone Egay and Southwest Monsoon and its effects on the population and environment. Shown is the total number of related incidents in regions Calabarzon, Mimaropa, Region 5, and Region 7. 16 landslide or rain-induced in regions Calabarzon, Mimaropa, 5, and 6. 108 flooded areas, of which 33 have subsided, and 17 receding in regions 1, 3, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, 5, 6, and 12. 5 soil erosion incidents in regions Calabarzon, 6, and 8. 4 fallen tree incidents in regions 1, Mimaropa, and 6, and 4 strong winds incidents in region 6. Shown is the total number of affected population. There are 261 barangays, 400 or 44,356 families, or equivalent to 180,439 persons affected, of which 2,324 families, 8,917 persons are being served inside 107 evacuation centers, and 472 families, or 2,124 persons, are outside evacuation centers in regions 1, 3, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, 5, 6, 10, and 12. A total of 107 evacuation centers are open. Shown in the next slide is the total number of casualties in region Calabarzon and 6. But these are yet to be validated. 1 person died in flash flood incident in Cardona, Rizal. 1 person was injured in a flash flood incident in Cardona, Rizal. And 1 person was injured after getting hit by falling rocks in a soil erosion incident in Nabas, Aklan. Shown is the status of lifelines. Let me start with the status of roads. A total of 46 road sections and 3 bridges were affected. Below is the current status of affected road sections and bridges as shown. On the status of power, a total of 51 cities and municipalities were affected. Below is the current status of power supply as shown. On the status of water supply and the status of flights, Pandan, Catanduanes in Bicol region reported water interruption on 24 July 2023, 5 a.m. A total of 30 domestic flights were canceled in regions 1, 2, NCR, CAR, Mimaropa, and 5. The breakdown of affected cities and municipalities are as shown on the table. On the status of seaports, a total of 97 seaports were affected in regions 2, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, 5, 6, and 8. And the breakdown of affected seaports are as shown. On damaged houses, a total of 57 damaged houses, 8 totally and 49 partially, are reported in regions 1, Calabarzon, 6, 10, and 12. On suspension of class and work, 314 cities and municipalities suspended classes, while 208 cities and municipalities have suspended works. A total cost of assistance is at 1.45 billion pesos provided by DSWD, LGUs, and NGOs. To apprise the members of the task force on the preparedness measures, pre-positioning, and actions taken by the NDRRMC or the task force, the next slide will be explained in detail. Shown is the total number of preemptive evacuation. About 2,478 families or 8,316 persons were preemptively evacuated. And this data came from the ILG Codex as of 25 July 2023. On the conduct of Pre-Disaster Risk Assessment or PDRA, on 21 July and 22 July 2023, PDRA Analyst Group and PDRA Core Group conducted Pre-Disaster Risk Assessment. Shown is the activated EPR protocols. As shown on the screen, there are several regions who activated Charlie protocols, namely CAR, regions 1, 2, 3, Calabarzon, Memaropa, 5, 6, and 8, while Region 9 activated Bravo protocol, regions NCR activated Alpha protocol, along with Region 10, Caraga, and BARM, while regions 11 and 12 activated standby protocol. The meaning of the standby, Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie protocols are as shown on the right corner of the screen. On actions taken by the NDRRMC or the task force, shown are the actions taken starting from 19 to 23 July 2023. The NDRRMC memorandum was issued, namely Memo 73, related to the preparations for the low pressure area east of northwest or northeast of Giwan, Eastern Samar, on 20 July 2023, and Memo number 74, maintaining NDRRMOC Blue Alert status in connection with Tropical Depression Egay. Memo number 75, regarding raising alert status of NDRRMOC to Red Alert status. Memo number 76, regarding emergency preparedness and response protocols. And Memorandum number 77, regarding activation and standby status of response clusters in connection with Tropical Cyclone Egay on 22 July 2023. Shown on the screen is the continuation of the actions taken by the task force. There are 42 emergency alert warning messages issued, such as storm surge warning, tropical cyclone warning signal, and red and orange rainfall warning. These are the action photos at the Regional Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council. So shown on the photo is our SILG, Secretary Abalos, being given briefing here at the OPSEN related to updates on Tropical Cyclone Egay. Shown is the breakdown of the efforts undertaken by the different response clusters. So let me discuss them briefly, clockwise. On food and non-food items, the standby funds and prepositioned relief and stockpile amounts to 2.67 billion pesos from DSWD and OCD, and a cost of about 1,049,000, a cost of food and non-food items assistance provided coming from DSWD and LGUs. On emergency telecommunications, 630 emergency ICT equipment and resources are available and ready for deployment from DICT, AFP, PNP, OCD, and PCG. On health cluster, available logistics for augmentation is placed at 78.55 million pesos. On law and order, 8,182 personnel and 1,406 assets are placed on standby. On logistics cluster, there are 2 assets deployed. On resources, on standby, there are 376, of which 18 are air. Yes, sir. 223 land and 135 sea assets. On search, rescue, and retrieval, there are 188 SRR personnel deployed from PNP and BFP in regions Memaropa, Calabarzon, and CAR. There are 19,721 SRR personnel deployed on standby or on standby. And on CCM and IDPP cluster, 921 families or 3,211 persons were served inside evacuation centers, in which 51 evacuation centers are in regions 2, 3, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, 6, 7, and 12. For the OCD's standby funds and prepositioned relief stockpile, from the OCD Central Office, a total cost stockpile preposition amounts to 116.7 million pesos, and a total QRF standby fund amounts to 406.89 million pesos. And there are 181.69 million pesos QRF from fiscal year 2023, and a continuing QRF fiscal year 2022 of 225.2 million pesos. For the OCD's standby funds and prepositioned relief stockpile, these are the list of prepositioned relief stockpile at the central office and regional offices as shown. For the DSWD's standby funds and prepositioned relief stockpile, a total of 173.72 million pesos standby funds are in the central office and field offices. Of the said amount, 98.86 million pesos is the available quick response fund in the central office. A total of 1,270,679 family food packs amounting to 837.26 million pesos, and other food items and non-food items amounting to 1.16 million pesos. So, Mr. Chair, that ends my presentation. For the detailed information on the latest updates on this incident, you may also refer to our NDRRM monitoring dashboard for your reference. The data may be accessed by scanning the QR code in this slide. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Director Idio. Mr. Chair, with your indulgence, the floor is now open for any concerns or inquiries the body might have from the presentation.
Mr. Chair, just to report from the DNRMGB, we are currently monitoring 12 rainfall-induced landslides in Car alone, one in Mountain Province and the rest in Benguet. And so this landslide risk monitoring is actually part of our MGB mandate. So we'll continue to update the group as we receive the reports from the field. We also would like to report that we have been in touch with the private sector partners of the DNR, and that they have committed technical expertise, equipment, and manpower in the event that it be required. We have commitments from Lepanto, Benguet, Oceana Gold, and Ilagan Water in Isabela. So this would be on call for the OCD and the RMC should they be required in terms of the site response. Thank you po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Secretary Loizaga, for the report. I also hinihikayat po natin ang lahat ng miyembro ng media kung nakakatanggap po tayo ng impormasyon, dahil umaasa din po tayo sa ating mga local disaster risk reduction units na baka wala pong oras na mag-report sa atin. Kung pwede, ipaabot din po dito para mas accurate po ang salinan natin ng impormasyon at mas maganda po ang pagre-responde natin lahat. Kaya hinihikayat po natin ang lahat na wag lang hong fake news sana, no? Yung tunay na report po na makakatulong po ng labis po sa atin lahat. So, thank you, Secretary Loizaga. Thank you for that. At ito, nakikita din po natin ang corporate social responsibility at pag-uugnayan ng private at public sectors hinggil sa disaster response, no? Maliban pa ito sa preparasyon. So, let's continue with the, unless, yes, Yusek Ariel.
Thank you, sir. For the information of the task force, sir, just to emphasize, meron tayong mahigit 300,000 family food packs na handa at naka-preposition kung kakailanganin dun sa mga naapektuhang mga lugar. Yan available. Bukod pa dun sa ipinaghanda ng DSWD, sir.
Thank you, Yusek Ariel. To our Vice Chairperson, Secretary Benher Abalos, I turn over the floor to our Co-Chairperson.
Thank you so much, Chairperson Secretary Gibo Chodoro, at sa aking mga kasama sa kabinete, fellow public servants, officials. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Ako po ay i-report ko lang yung on the ground, yung ating mga local government units at mga opisina po ng DLG. Pero bago ko po mag-report, gusto ko lang pasalamatan ang mga masisipag na tao po rito sa Office of the Civil Defense. Ako yung saksi, no? Sa mga batang ito at of course sa NDRRMC, no? Talagang napakaganda po. Dumarating ako rito 1:00 ng umaga, 2:00. Dito sila talaga nagbi-briefing. Nagsimula po ito noong July 17, no? Ito yung isang low pressure area pa lang. Alam niyo ho, sa paghahanda, napaka-importante sa simula pa lang ay minomonitor mo na, no? Kaya ako'y talagang bilib na bilib sa mga empleyado po rito. Talaga yung monitoring, very accurate. Sumunod po nito ay dahil po rito ay nagkaroon tayo ng, meron po tayong offline listo sa ating mga kababayan. Ano yung ibig sabihin ng offline listo? Ito yung isang programa na nagfo-focus sa whole of the nation approach, no? Kung kaya meron tayong protocols, may mga checklist po 'yan. For the mayor, no? Merong minimal critical preparedness action na ginagawa for city, municipal, local government operations and mga chief of police hanggang baba. Depende po sa mangyayari. And so dahil dito, kung mapapansin nyo kanina, meron sila sinabing Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Ang ibig sabihin nito, kung Alpha ka, ikaw ay higit kumulang 1,100 kilometers radius magmula ron sa mata ng bagyo. Inuulit ko, 1,100. Yung Bravo, ikaw naman ay mas malapit. Ikaw ay mga 330 kilometers. No? At yung Charlie, ikaw ay 180. Napakalapit mo sa bagyo. Noong pong July 21, ay inatasan na po natin dahil nga sa close monitoring. Ayan po yung mga listo program. Hindi ko na isa-isa yan. Ganyang katindi po yan, no? Para alam mo, this is already for Charlie. Lahat po yan ng LGU ay may kopya at dapat sundin kagad nila ito, no? Bawat antas. Noong pong July 21 ay dahil dito po nga sa monitoring, inatasan ng DLG ang Region 1, 2, and 3, ang CAR 4A, 4B at 5 na i-activate kagad nila ang tinatawag natin Emergency Center. At DORMS, ano yung DORMS? Ito yung Disaster Online Reporting and Monitoring. Anong ibig sabihin ito? Ang ibig sabihin nito, ito yung sistema para makapag-report ang ating mga DILG officers, no, na mga magmula sa munisipyo on the ground. Ito yung buong Pilipinas. At kung meron man silang nakikitang pangangailangan ay sa LGU, buong Pilipinas, ay i-report po kaagad, no? At tapos ni-report naman po namin dito sa OCD. Sumunod po noong July 23, na-activate na rin po natin ang EOC at DORMS ng Region 7 at 8, no? At sumunod po ayon na rin sa PAGASA, no, may mga lugar na dapat maapektuhan ng bagyo. Kung matatandaan po natin, noong July 21, nag-issue po si Secretary Rene Solidum, no, ng DOST. Anong sabi niya? Huwag natin pabayaan ang mga LGU sa gilid ng Mayon Volcano. Bakit daw? Dahil ang mga lugar na marami ng deposit ng volcanic debris na kapag nabuhusan ng maraming ulan ay posibleng maging lahar. No? So ayon itong sa advisory ni Secretary Solidum, tayo na rin ay nag-issue ng lahar advisory sa mga LGU ng Albay. Mga kasama, tulad ng sinabi ng PAGASA, yun nga, naging super typhoon ito at atama nga ang Northern Cagayan at Batanes at Ilocos, no? Nagbigay kagad tayo ng direktiba rito. Ngayon, tignan lang po natin, can we go to the Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie? So, ito po ang pinaka-latest. Ito as of 11 a.m., July 26, kanina pong 11:00. So, ito po ang mga probinsya, Laguna, Bulacan, Pangasinan, Bataan, Metro Manila, Cavite, Benguet, Quezon, Quirino, Nueva Ecija, Batangas, Pampanga, Nueva Vizcaya, Zambales, Ifugao, Tarlac, La Union, Aurora, Rizal, Mountain Province, Camarines Norte ang under Alpha. No? Under Bravo, medyo malapit-lapit, ang Abra, Batanes, Kalinga, Ilocos Sur at Isabela. At ang pinakamalapit ay ang Cagayan, Apayao at ang Ilocos Norte. Ayun po yan. Ngayon, para makita ito, bibilisan ko lang, no? Maski mga ilang slides lang, para makita nyo kasi may mga susunod pang mga bagyo. No? So, itong lahat na protocols na ito ay ginawa na nila. Tingnan natin ang ilang probinsya, lalo na yung mga tatamaan. Tingnan natin sa Batanes kung anong ginawa ng Batanes. Next, please. Sige lang. Yung Batanes, pakita natin. So, yan yung mga protocols na pinapakita natin. Next. Yung Batanes lang. So, ipapakita namin ang ilang mga larawan na bago pa lamang dumating ang bagyo. Yan, kamukha po yan. Ito yung sa bandang Batanes. Sige, next. Next. Mabilis lang, Batanes yan. Wala pa yung bagyo. Malayo pa dahil nga sa ano ng PAGASA, sa OCD, sa pagtutulungan sa monitoring, naghahanda na po ang ating mga local government officials from the governor down the line to the barangays. Sige lang, bilisan mo lang, marami yan. Sige lang, yan mga ginagawa nila. Next. Tingnan natin sa Cagayan. Sa Cagayan, ganyan rin. Kita yung si Governor Mamba. Kanya na kagad pinicide ang provincial disaster risk. No? Next. Sige lang, bilisan mo lang. Yan. Ganyan po ang ginagawa sa Cagayan. Sa Ilocos Sur, ganun din po. No? So, malayo pa. This is already July 22. No? Ganyan na po gila. La Union, ganun din. Sige lang. Pangasinan, ganyan din. Nueva Vizcaya, ganyan. Isabela, no? Halos lahat ng norte. Abra, sige lang. Apayao, Aurora. In short, sa ating mga kabayan, sige lang, dire-diretso mo lang, makikita nyo through these pictures na down the ground, from the NDRRMC to the OCD, down the ground to the very grassroots, nakikiisa ang ating mga local government unit. Hindi lang ngayon, sa mga susunod pa pong mga low pressure area hanggang maging bagyo ito. Ito lang po ang i-report namin. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chairman.
Maraming salamat po, Secretary Abalos, ang ating Vice Chairperson, sa maagang pagbibigay ng mga karampatang mga issuances at pagsusupervise sa paghahanda po ng ating o pagtutulong sa ating mga local government units upang makahanda po kaagad. Ngayon naman po, pakinggan natin si ASEC Marlon Alagaw sa DSWD po dahil linggo pa lang ho, ka-partner na ho namin, matagal na ho, ka-partner na namin siya sa pagpapadala ng mga goods, no? In coordination with the Armed Forces of the Philippines sa malalayong lugar. So, ASEC Marlon, please.
Vice Chair Sec Gilbert Chudora, Vice Chair Sec Benjamin Abalos, members of the task force, good afternoon everyone. Mapagpalang maulan na hapon sa inyo lahat. DSWD will be reporting on the disaster response operations update, the effects of the southwest monsoon and Super Typhoon Egay as of today ng 8 a.m. Is the slide? Please. For everybody to see the slides. Dinaload lang, Mr. Chair, yung slides. All right, thank you to the technical team. So let's proceed to the second slide, please. Okay, a total of 93,109 families or 309,909 persons are affected in 460 barangays in regions 1, 2, 3, Calabarzon, Mimaropa 5, 6, 7, 12, and CAR. As you can see on the table presented below, I'll just focus on the regions. Sa Region 1, there is 32 barangays that were affected. Total of 11,189. For Region 2, we have 97 barangays, total of 4,323 persons. For Region 3, that is 87 barangays, that is 221,269. As you can see, bakit marami dito? Because as what has been reported kanina, talagang dito po major tumama ang bagyo, which is Region 1, Region 3, and CAR. Then, next slide please. I'll be focusing again sa, ito naman po, continuation lang ng mga affected families and persons. Mimaropa, that is 18 barangays and 2,136 persons. Region 5, 32 barangays, 1,656 persons. Region 6, that is 105, that's 31,771. Region 7, that's 16 barangays, 12,454. And Region 12, that's 19 barangays, 22,470. What does this mean? Kung napapansin nyo, yung bagyo po ay nasa taas, pero as what has been reported kanina, hinihila niya ang hanging habagat. Kaya meron rin pong mga naapektuhan sa mga Western Visayas. Next slide please. Now, ito po yung status of the displaced population inside the evacuation centers. There are 2,985 families or 10,166 persons already currently taking temporary shelters in 181 evacuation centers in Regions 1, 2, 3, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, 5, 6, 7, 12, and the Cordillera Administrative Region. Ang pinakamalaki po niyan, I will not get into details, makikita nyo Region 2. Right now, we have 75 number of evacuation centers in Region 2, and it is housing 977 families or 3,121 persons. Next slide, please. For the Visayan region, ang may pinakamalaking evacuation centers po tayo is the Region 6. Diyan po yung Antique, Guimaras, Iloilo, and Negros Occidental. As you can see, yan rin po may pinakamalaking number of families, 966, and a total of 3,472 persons. So these are the displaced population inside our evacuation centers. Next slide, please. Besides that, meron rin po naman tayong populasyon na outside the evacuation centers. We are also taking data of those. Para lang at least, sabi nga, whole of nation approach. Hindi lang naman yung mga naapektuhan, nag-iikot-ikot pa rin po kami. Now, there are 838 families or 2,036 persons, well, temporarily staying with their relatives or friends. Next slide. Ang pinakamalaki po doon, the common is sa Mimaropa, that's 389 families and 421 persons. So ito naman po yung mga outside evacuation centers. Next slide, please. And this is also a continuation of the status of displaced population outside the evacuation centers. Ang pinaka ano po dyan is for CAR. We have 86 families and 279 persons. Next slide, please. Moreover, we have also gained data regarding on the number of damaged houses. A total of 51 houses were damaged, of which 6 are totally damaged and 45 are partially damaged. Ang pinakamalaki po niyan is sa Region 6. That is 33 total. So, ang partially lang naman po doon, 28, but ang total malaki is 5. Next slide, please. Now, ano na po ang nagawa ng DSWD? So, these are the costs of the humanitarian assistance provided. This is as of 8 a.m. today, and a total of 2,815,082.98 worth of assistance was provided to the affected families na rin-report ko po kanina, of which 2,125,353.68 from DSWD and 689,729.3 from LGUs. So, ang may pinakamalaki po na nabigyan natin ng tulong in terms of monetary is 700,924, which is sa Region 6. LGUs, ang may pinakamalaki naman po nilang tumulong na LGUs is Region 1, which is 438,225. Next slide, please. As you can see po, before the storm hits, DSWD In particular, the National Resource Operations Center is already mobilizing. Kasi because of the forecasted storm that we get from PAGASA, doon pa lang nagsisimula na kami. And thank you po sa assistance ni Secretary Gibo for the Philippine Air Force at nakapagdala po kami initially sa Batanes. In fact, we have delivered 1,100 family food packs sa Batanes, which nakita namin talagang tatamaan. And we are very thankful as well that Philippine Air Force already committed delivery 5,000 more after the storm. So thank you so much, Sec. And dyan po, makikita nyo sa table, July 24 pa lang, nakapag-deliver na kami sa Field Office 1. Again, yan po yung nakita namin na malaking tatamaan. So we have delivered, ayan po, quantities ng mga family food packs. I'm looking at mga around 10,000 family food packs have been delivered. That is beside the 86,000 plus preposition family food packs at Region 1 already. Plus, same goes with Region 2. Next slide, please. Same goes with Region 3. So the table is, will be providing you po of all the detailed information. What we can just say is, can you please proceed to the last table, please? The last slide. The standby funds and pre-positioned relief stockpile. Thank you. So ito po ang existing stockpile natin before the storm. 1,299,380. Available po yan nationwide from Field Office 1 up to CAR kasi lahat ng 13 field offices po natin. Besides that, as what I've reported earlier, we have already augmented around 30,000 additional family food packs for Regions 1, Regions 2, and Cordillera Administrative Region. So to speak, all of our trucks are on their way, and thank you for the reports coming from our field offices. Kasi kanina po, we have learned that some of the highways is not passable. And it's a good thing, I just got a report right now, pwede na po kami mag-traverse for the Lawag and the Pagudpud area. So that's the report of DSWD, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much.
For the power situation, we have Undersecretary Joby Bacordo of the DOE. Joby, can we hear the report ng DOE?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon to my hardworking colleagues here in the NDRRMC. This is the report from the Department of Energy. For the on-grid power generation plants, there are presently 7 power plants with experienced outage due to outside management control, and these are all found in Benguet. For the off-grid small power utilities group, there are 4 diesel power plants that are currently on plant shutdown, and these are found in Cagayan, in Camiguin, in Masbate, and in Burias Island. The Basco diesel power plant is experiencing partial power interruption. Basco Town proper has limited power, but Feeder 2 has no power at all. The Biasong diesel power plant and Lunang diesel power plant in Almagro Minigrid is now they are both now on plant shutdown. The Calaguas diesel power plant in Camarines Norte is on plant standby while awaiting clearance for energization. We have also 3 power plants on plant standby awaiting energization upon the clearance from the linemen. And these are found also in Masbate, in Burias, and in Western Samar. For the report from the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines, there are now 10 transmission lines affected. And these are found in the province of Cagayan. Caguelco 2 is affected. In Abra, Abreco is affected. In Benguet, Beneco is affected. In Benguet, Beneco is affected. In Cagayan, the Caguelco 1 and Caguelco 2 are affected. In Nueva Ecija and Aurora, the Nico 2, Area 1, and Nico 2, Area 2, and Aurelco are affected. In Ilocos Sur, Iseco is affected. In the San Esteban Narvacan 69 kilovolt line, Iseco is also affected. In La Union, Lueco is affected. But NGCP reported that it has mobilized its line crew and is currently conducting patrols to inspect and assess the impact of the typhoon to its operations and facilities. For the electric cooperatives, as in a report by the National Electrification Administration, there are 13 electric cooperatives that are experiencing partial power interruption with ongoing restoration efforts. And in Region 1, there are 2 electric cooperatives affected. In Region 2, there are 2. In the Cordillera Autonomous Region, there are 3. In Region 3, there are 2. Region 4A, there's 1. Region 4B, there is 1. But we're also proud to report, by the way, in Region 5, there is 1, and Region 8, there is 1. There are 6 electric cooperatives that are experiencing total power interruption. And these are also found in Region 1, 2, Cordillera Autonomous Region, Region 3. For the private distribution utilities, Meralco reported that all facilities are under normal operations. As for the oil facilities and the downstream oil industry facilities, as of 10:00 today, no reported oil supply shortage has been received. All bulk facilities reported no damage and are operational. All retail outlets reported no damage and are operational, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Undersecretary Bacordo, for the power report. Inaasahan naman po natin talaga ay dahil sa sitwasyon, hindi rin po makaikot ang ating mga power generation, transmission, and distribution facilities hanggat sa walang peligro. Kaya inaasahan po natin ang patuloy na updates will be appreciated, so malaman din ng ating mga kababayan ang sitwasyon ng power sa iba't ibang mga lugar na naapektuhan po. Do we have a DPWH representative? If there's none, ang ating po mga kababayan, inaasahan po natin talagang gusto rin yung malaman kung ano ang pwede ng daanan, kung ano ang safe na nadaanan ng mga kalsada. Ito po ay antabayanan na lang po natin. Maglalabas na lang po ang OCD ng karagdagang mga bulletins hinggil sa mga passable and non-passable roads and bridges po para accurate po ang aming pagre-report po sa inyo. Yes.
Sir, if pwede pang mag-report, naka-BTC yung DPWH. Nandito.
Assistant Director po is joining us physically, sir.
Nasa. Ready to report sila.
Yes. Thank you, Assistant Director. Ito po ang ating masipag na representative ng DPWH. Talagang siniyasat niya na mabuti yung mga kalsada. So, antabayanan po natin ang report ni Assistant Director.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. With me is our Assistant Director, Edgar Cuenco. On behalf of our Director and our Secretary, sir, we are the one given the order to attend today's meeting. So this is the update po of DPWH as of 12 noon this afternoon. We have 13 road sections. This is the national roads close to traffic in NCR. Next. So in NCR, we have Abra, Ilocos Norte Road. We have Abra, Ilocos Sur. Next. Abra, Kalinga Road. Next. And then we have Baguio Bontoc, Mountain Province and Nueva Vizcaya Road. We have also the Mountain Province, Ilocos Sur, the Mountain Province, Cagayan via Tabok. These are all not passable as of today, as of 12 noon. In Apayao 2nd, we have Claveria, Calanan, Cabugao Road. And in Apayao 1st, Apayao, Ilocos Norte Road. Next. Also in CAR, we have Danshilan, Beckel Road. And also the Cannon Road. So Cannon Road, has an alternate route po yung Nagilian and Marcos Highway. Next. In the Upper Kalinga, we have also Mountain Province and Kalanan Pinokpok Abot Road, Lubuangan, Batong Buhay, Abra Boundary Road. Next. So yun po yun, sir, closed roads, a total of 13 road sections in CAR. And we have also 4 road sections that have limited access, meaning one-way passable to heavy vehicles, one-way passable to light vehicles. So next, please. We have in CAR, the Abra Ilocos Norte Road. In Ifugao, first we have Vanawi, Hunduan, Benguet. And then we have Governor Bado, Dongwa National Road. Next, please. And also we have Calapan South Road in Mindoro. Next, please. So these are the available assets and prepositioned equipment and manpower. We have a total of 1,693 equipment in CAR 1, 2, 3, 4A, 4B, 5, 6, and 8. So, and also we have 9,242 manpower prepositioned. Next. These are the maps po for the regions, the preposition equipment and manpower in Region 2. Next. And Region 4A. Next. 4B. 5. And Region 8. So the actions taken by DPWH, we have already activated since Friday, the DPWH Disaster and Incident Management Team. We have already prepositioned the quick response assets. And we also installed warning signs for those flooded areas and deployed equipment and manpower. And also, we have now the ongoing clearing operations for those who have landslides areas. And we also continuously monitoring our national roads and bridges. Next. These are all the pictures na available po as of now. Next. So that's all for DPWH. Thank you so much. Good afternoon po.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you for the early preparations of DPWH and past experience naman po nakikita natin napakabilis magtrabaho ng DPWH para may dadaanan po ang ating mga kababayan.
Yeah, Mr. Chair,
Sec Abalos, yes.
yeah, I would just like to comment that ang ating pong MMDA, headed by Chairman Don Artes, ay nakahanda ang lahat ng mga gamit niya up to our neighbors outside of Metro Manila at saka mga buong puwersa po ng MMDA. At hindi lang po yun ang ating, of course, kay Chief Ben Acorda, ang ating kapulisan po at ang ating mga bombero all over the country. Nandiyan po sila, mga sanay po iyan sa mga life-saving at ating mga bombero po, nandiyan po lahat po sila. Ang ating Tri-Bureau, kasama rin po ang Bureau of Jail. Nakahanda pong tumulong at tumutulong po. Thank you po.
Nandito rin po ang ating Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Philippines na nung isang araw pa po nakaantabay sa sitwasyon at nakipag-ugnayan na po sa iba't ibang mga ahensya. Kasi sanay naman po kami lahat sa mga protocols and papasalamat din po tayo sa efforts ng ating kasundaluhan, kapulisan, at lahat po ng ating hanggang mga barangay health workers, barangay DRRMCs, sa pakikipag-ugnayan po upang makarespondi na mabilis at ligtas ang ating mga komunidad. Thank you po.
Mr. Chair, with your permission, the Office of Civil Defense would like to show action and situation photos captured by our counterparts from the various OCD regional offices. Thank you, sir. From Region 1, the Ilocos region, the damaged bridge, Tamdagan Bridge in Vintar, Lawag, and Coast Guard personnel conducting rescue missions in the flood-hit town of Bacara, Ilocos Norte. From Region 2, road clearing along Municipal Road of Ballesteros, Cagayan, and the camp coordination and camp management in Bugay, Cagayan. From Region 3, road debris clearing at Barangay Esperanza, Dilasag, Aurora. From Region 5, Obo Spillway in San Miguel, Catanduanes, not passable to all types of vehicles. Rockfall along Barangay Pananawagan, Bato, Catanduanes. Minor soil erosion at Barangay Mabini Road in Viga, Catanduanes. Region 6, flooding incident that took place in 2 barangays in Pontevedra, Negros Occidental due to the effects of southwest monsoon enhanced by TS Egay. Flooding incident that took place in 1 barangay in San Enrique, Negros Occidental due to the effects of southwest monsoon enhanced by TS Egay. Flooded Santo Rosario National Highway in Tibiao, Antique due to the overflow of rice paddies, and rockfall incident in Nabas, Aklan. Flooded barangay in Bacolod City barangays. Landslide in Patnongon, Antique. Still in Region 6, soil erosion in Hinubaan, Negros Occidental. Region 8, collapsed paved shoulder and slope protection, Barangay Malayog, Calbayog City, Samar, and road slip in Barangay Bagakay, Calbayog City, Samar. Collapsed paved shoulder in Barangay Palencia, Tarangnan, Samar. Rock and debris fall in Barangay Subas, Sogod, Southern Leyte. Collapsed roadway half-lane, Barangay Pagbalikan, Calbayog City, Samar. And collapsed roadway half-lane, Barangay Pagbalikan, Calbayog City, Samar. Region 4B. Region 4B, still in 4B, flooded areas. Flooded areas, still in San Vicente, Palawan, in Oriental Mindoro. And that's it, Mr. Chair. Thank you, po. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, the floor is now open for free discussion for other matters related to our current discussion, sir.
Are there any other matters that the members of the task force council need to take up? There being none, we'll open the floor to questions from our media partners.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. We will be transitioning to the media briefing this afternoon. I'd like to thank Neil for his work kanina po. To our friends from the media joining us present here at the Operations Center, the floor is now open for your questions. I have my colleague there, Diego, with the microphone. You can raise your hand and then kindly introduce yourself and then fire a question away. Just as a backgrounder po, the meeting this afternoon po is an emergency meeting conducted by the NDRRMC and the Task Force on Crisis Management, discussing the items for Super Typhoon Egay, the ongoing operations in Super Typhoon Egay. What you have seen a while ago were the actions taken by the different agencies to assist our countrymen affected in the northern regions as well as in Batanes. The DSWD had earlier reported the deployment of relief items as well as the prepositioning of the same relief items. We also have the road situations in those areas. Do we have a question now? Mr. Chair,
If there are no questions, I'd just like to invite our...
Sir, good afternoon.
yes po. Mr. Chair, we have one question.
Patrick De Jesus po from PTV4. Sec, naging super typhoon po itong si Egay po ano. Pero based po sa report, can we consider it na very minimal lang po yung naging epekto po nito?
Hindi natin mako-consider na minimal ang epekto nito kasi hindi pa tayo nag-a-assess ng lubusan kung ano talaga ang nangyari dito. Kaya ang susunod po na mangyayari, kaalinsabay ng pagbibigay po ng tulong sa ating mga displaced at mga kababayan at masigurado pong patuloy na ligtas sila sa kapahamakan, ay magra-rapid assessment po ang mga kanya-kanyang lugar kung ano po ang talagang nangyari. Pagkatapos po, ikakalap itong data na to para may national picture po kung kailangan po, sigurado pong kailangan kung ano ang interventions na gagawin po ng national government para matulungan ang mga LGUs po. So, at kaalinsabay po nito, nakita na po natin na wala hong humpay at inihiling po namin ang inyong pagtulong. Hinggil dito, naghahanda din po kami sa posibleng pagtama ng isang low pressure area na nasa ibaba po ng ating bansa. Mamanmanan po ng PAGASA ang track nito, makikipag-ugnayan din po sa atin upang makapaghanda po ang ating mga LGUs at national government sa areas. Kasi kung mapapansin po ninyo, binibigyan pansin po natin ang epekto ng Egay. Patuloy pa rin po ang ating pagtulong sa mga kapatid natin na naapektuhan ng Mayon at naapektuhan po ng Habagat at sa darating pa pong weather disturbance. Kung ito po'y magtuloy na bagyo, hindi pa po natin alam. Pero ganito pa hong kaaga sa habilin po ng ating Pangulo, kaya po nandito po si Deputy Executive Secretary Guevara, kailangan ho coordinated at mabilisan po ang response ng ating gobyerno.
Sec, may current challenges ba sa coordination po natin with the LGUs pagdating po sa reporting?
Ang challenge siguro ay ang timeliness ng reporting dahil natural lang naman na iniintindi nila, sorry po binibigyan pansin po nila muna ang pagtugon sa sarili nilang mga kailangang gawin. Pagkatapos nun, saka po sila magre-report. So may time lag po yun talaga.
Thank you. Another question. Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon po. Bianca Dava po, ABS-CBN News po. Tanong ko lang po kung na-verify or na-validate na po natin yung reported na 1 dead and 2 injured earlier this morning po dun sa SITREP. And given po yung mga initial na mga damage natin, how can we assess po yung preparation ng lahat for Typhoon Egay?
Hindi pa validated yung deaths. It is still subject to validation. And we cannot assess kung gaano tayo nakapaghanda ng lubusan hanggat hindi matapos po itong emergency. Nasa period po tayo ng rapid response para, number 1, to serve our displaced countrymen. Number 2, and to ensure that basic services are restored as soon as possible. And the most important is to ensure that everybody, as much as possible, is safe.
Thank you po.
Siguro, maidagdag ko lang, no? Tama po si Secretary Chairman Gibo. At alinsunod po sa utos ng ating mahal na Pangulo, kung makikita nyo, ito pong nandirito ngayon, talagang well-coordinated ang lahat. Ang nagtitumon dito sa umpisa, of course, ang PAGASA. Dahil sa kanila kami biglang kagalawang OCD rito. Tapos kami naman sa DILG, doon kami umaasa. So nakita nyo sa mga report kanina, malayo pa lang, nakahanda na hanggang baba. No? So yun ang preparasyon dito. Andiyan ang DSWD, OCD, ang military. Pagkatapos, andiyan ang Department of Energy, andiyan ang DPWH, ang DNR, of course DND. So ito parang isang makina ito. Importante dito ang pagkakaisa. At nakita po natin ang preparasyon at ang mga angkop na aksyon na ginawa po rito. Salamat po.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary. Do we have other questions, ladies and gentlemen? There being none, we'd like to thank our
Papasalamat po tayo sa ating mga kasama po sa media. Antabayanan lang po natin kung merong relevant na bulletins na ilalabas sa mga karagdagang pangyayari or validation po ng nasabi po natin, maglalabas po ang OCD ng akmang mga bulletin po sa inyo. Thank you po.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. And we'd like to thank the media for joining us for this afternoon's briefing.